Hello everyone, welcome back to Sportsbook Review's coverage of a fascinating Serie A season. Probably the most exciting league in the world right now. I'm your host Martin Green. I have Alex Campean and Tancredi Palmeri alongside me to break down the games. We are very excited. A few teams really in great form in Italian football right now, and we've got some massive games on the cards this weekend, including Lazio versus Roma. Derby della Capitale, which is going to be a fabulous game. Before we start breaking the games down, just a quick reminder, please, to give us a thumbs up if you like what you see today. Click on the notification bell, hit the subscription button, and head on over to sportsbookreview.com to read lots of picks and insight from these fine gentlemen alongside me. Lots of free content, a wealth of great stuff you'll find over there. So please be sure to do that. But right now, we are going to start with Spezia versus AC Milan, which is a good game for AC Milan to hopefully continue their unbeaten start to the season. I know they lost away at Liverpool in the Champions League, but in domestic football, they're going great guns. I'm just looking at the records, actually. We've got Alex on plus 4.99 units of profit. Tancredi on plus 2.19. I'm on plus 2.26. So the show's about almost 10 units in profit already, which after 5 weeks of the season, I would say is a very good start to proceedings. With that billing, Alex, take it away. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
I watched yesterday both games, also Spezia versus Juventus, which was one of the most entertaining games in terms of goal-scoring opportunities. With Juventus still brainless, in my opinion, still a lot to be solved there in that Juventus team. But also the 2-0 win of AC Milan against Venezia with absolutely domination throughout the entire game, with the 2 goals coming in the second half, with 70% possession. It looks like very, very determined team to continue winning games. They are at 4-1. AC Milan, they're at the top of the table with Inter. Napoli can overcome them today if they win their match away at Sampdoria. I think that Milan are much more organized defensively than Juventus are right now. So I don't think that is so much danger for Spezia to score 2 or more goals against AC Milan. I think that AC Milan will... I think that Spezia, after such a great game that they did, and unfortunately they lost 3-2 against Juventus, they could easily have drawn that game with Juventus. They are a little bit not so confident right now, let's put it this way, and a lot of energy lost on that match. They ran a lot in that match. They lost a lot of energy, and I think that this will count a lot in this match with AC Milan. So I'm going with a better team of the two. I liked Spezia determination, and of course they're playing at home, and the atmosphere will be again incredible on the stands, like it was against the Juventus. But I think that Manchester, I don't know what Manchester, AC Milan will win by at least 1 goal. So -1 on the Asian handicap at 1.9, meaning that if they win by just 1 goal difference, it will be a push.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Going to give a quick shout out to the guys on the chat. Hello to Scott, Gaz. Manchester is red. Manchester's always red. Barsaman, Jonathan, Edem, Carlos, Tevins, greetings from Namibia, and DM Punk's here. Hola Barsaman, hola Umar, hello again, DM Punk. Everyone's very excited to see you back on the show, Tan. We missed you last week, but you're looking very well, and we're delighted to have you here. You're in Milan. Do you think they can get a win against Spezia and continue their winning start to the season?
Oh, they are in great confidence. First of all, hello to everybody. I was yesterday at Milan Venezia. It was more difficult than seemed because anyway, Milan knew that one way or another they could turn it around. They were coming from a difficult week. Lazio, Liverpool, and Juventus. Now they have these 2 shots with Venezia and Spezia, where they have to get 6 points and to spend as less as they can, because then they have the game against Atletico, and they had many injuries. They are playing with third choices in defense. Yesterday, the defense was Kalulu, Gabbia, Romagnoli, Ballo-Touré. You probably know only one out of those 4. Ibrahimovic and Giroud are still injured. Possibly none of the injured will recover in time for this game. Spezia, is true they spent a lot, but they are also frustrated. Thiago Motta is doing a good job in Spezia, considering the cheap material he has been put available. What I think is that, similar as it was against Venezia, it would take them a bit of time to open the can, but then in the end Milan will make it. So, considering that the value on Milan there is not, because all the odds are very low, I would go for the same that happened yesterday in San Siro. So I'm saying draw at the halftime, which is a good price.
Also, let's say to Manchester in red that we are not previewing today's matches. We are previewing the weekend matches.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was going to say that we are previewing the weekend matches. We didn't do a midweek Serie A show, which was an oversight on my scheduling behalf. But while we're here, very quickly, I personally do like Napoli to go and win away at Sampdoria this evening. They've got a very, very good record in Sampdoria. And I think they've won the last 3 or 4 meetings between the teams. I also think that Roma can get it done against Udinese, who are going to be a little bit tired. So, yeah, I'd be looking at Roma and over 1.5 goals or something like that. We're not going to break them down, but Alex and Tan, do you have any just quick fire tips for tonight? I feel like you probably covered these games somewhere else, Alex.
Yeah, Napoli, I think that they will win. I think that Torino Lazio over 2.5 goals in the match should be a very good shout out. And AS Roma probably draw at halftime. I don't know, cagier than expected this match against Udinese. I don't know what to expect from it. I don't think that Roma will win very high. I would give Udinese plus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.63.
Yeah, I can see Roma maybe scraping it for 1 goal. Can see a few goals in that match. Both teams to score. Looks good. Tan, do you see Napoli, Lazio, Roma treble tonight?
No, treble no. Also because Torino is playing very good.
Yeah.
And I don't see Lazio making it there. So I would say a draw in Torino-Lazio. Napoli-Sampdoria. If Napoli make it, is for no more than 1. But they are in full confidence at the moment. They are in full confidence. I would say they win with 1 goal advantage. So draw with handicap, let's say. Draw with handicap. And Roma-Udinese, I would say, well, that defeat in Verona is burning to Roma. They are approaching the derby. So they have to go there with confidence, and they have to rebuild a bit of confidence. So I would say Roma to be ahead half-time and full-time.
Oh, like it. Thanks, Tan. That sounds very good to me. I'm also on AC Milan to win with a -1 Asian handicap. I can see them winning this 2-0, perhaps. I could potentially see AC Milan winning 2-0 because they've only conceded twice so far this season, looking very solid in defence. Don't take too many risks going forward, but I think Ante Rebic has been great in the false 9 role, and they're very difficult to defend against despite not having a focal point in attack. So I can see a reasonably controlled victory for Spezia tonight. Okay, we're going to quickly move on.
For Milan.
For Milan, sorry, not for Spezia. No! AC Milan to win again. Buongiorno to piss in a teapot, like it. Inter Milan versus Atalanta. Now, someone is going to have to tell me what happened to Atalanta because They've been the great entertainers of Italian football for the past 3 seasons, scored more goals than any other team, conceded far too many goals, finished third 3 seasons in a row. And suddenly, they're not conceding, but they're not really scoring either. Only scored 6 goals in 5 matches, 4 goals conceded, whereas Inter seem to have taken up that mantle as the great entertainers. They've banged in 18 goals already. They're conceding stupid goals. What's happened, Tan? Have these two had a face-off personality transplant?
Well, Inter are the Italian champions, so they are scoring a bit more, but they were already there. The main change is about Atalanta. Let's consider first that Muriel is missing. And in that way, you are already taking 20 goals off from Atalanta. He's injured until mid of October. Looks like it's an impression, but looks like it has been squeezed a lot from the Atalanta squad. And now it's a bit tough to squeeze more in the way it was before. Maybe it's just a kind of mental fatigue that you can get from a team that for 3 years consecutively has been banging showtime and not being accustomed to, because they made big names. They don't have big names. So maybe it's that, because when they get to Champions League, suddenly they play their best game in the season, in the 5 they played so far. So, and it was in Villarreal. Now, something is going wrong if out of 5 games, the best game you played in Champions League and against the toughest opponent you are meeting so far. Means that maybe you are starting to feel the fatigue of playing in the minor games, of doing the dirty job that maybe the great team, the great club can solve even easily, but a team like Atalanta can't. Atalanta need always to play good to win. They don't have the single players like Juventus, Inter, that can afford to play bad and maybe win anyway. Inter-Atalanta, it is a big game. So we are supposed to see the great football from Atalanta again. Also, there are long-time antics between Gasperini, Atalanta manager, and Inter. Not only because he's of Juve education and formation, but Gasperini was in his career only for 3 games as Inter manager, just after Mourinho, Benitez, and Leonardo. He was sacked, and since then he never ever missed a chance just to throw back at Inter and say it was fault of the club, it was fault of the club. He's possibly the most hated manager by Inter fans, and he has done nothing to not to be hated. So
he's got a very poor record against Inter in recent years, Tan. Very poor record.
Yeah, it feels like he almost feels particularly this game, because for a long time he had a great record, and then in the last 3 years, against Conte and the last year of Spalletti, it was poor. But it's Atalanta. So as I said, in the big games, they always step up. At least what we're seeing is that they step up. Anyway, the comeback that Inter had against Fiorentina was impressive. They played great second half against a team that was playing very good. Fiorentina are doing the Atalanta in the beginning of the season. Great ball possession and passing and variety of options and stretching the field and attacking and being proactive. Inter was completely shocked in the first half, but only considered 1 goal, but had the mental strength to come back in the second half against a team playing good. That mental strength has impressed me. As I didn't expect the way they played against Real Madrid and the way they actually stay focused against Bologna when they won 6-1. So normally I would go for a market with goals, blah, blah, blah. But I saw such a mental strength from Inter and Atalanta are still so unconvincing that the odds are so good that I pick Inter to win.
Okay, there they are. Thanks, Tan. for Inter to win as well. I do wonder if the defensive diligence that they had under Conte is waning somewhat under Inzaghi, but I still think going forwards they look terrific. So I think they can put a couple of goals past Inter, but I do feel like Atalanta could get on the score sheet in this one. Do you think maybe this is an Alex Classic game? Alex Classic.
Yeah, probably. It looks like that. Atalanta, yes, one of the most exciting teams in the last past seasons. Sometimes also during the last season at least, and also before the pandemic, if you remember when we were previewing the Serie A back from the pandemic, it looked like Atalanta from time to time were doing also the dirty work, winning 1-0, 2-1. They were scoring fast in the first half, and after that the match was finishing like that. So it's not the first time when we are seeing them play like that. It's true that this season they played more games like that than any other of the last three seasons in a row. So you are not used to see Atalanta playing this type of match. I am glad that they are back with 2 wins in a row against Salernitana and against Sassuolo. I had the under 3.5 against Sassuolo, and at halftime I said it's 2-1 already. So let's take it as a loss, but it finished 2-1. Muriel is missing. Zapata is not exactly in his top shape. They are still trying to recover from the summer break with a lot of matches and everything, and also the international break. I think that they are on a good position right now. They will start little by little to be back at their normal kind of excitement football. So I see over 2.5 goals on the Asian handicap here at 1.71. which is also my banker for this round.
Oh, great. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I do sometimes suspect they're missing Papu Gomez a bit as well. Someone that can pull the strings, unlock defense, create things. But
mostly they are missing Ilicic, that is not playing at all good, with the little time that he's playing very bad, So I think that mostly they are missing Ilicic than Papu Gomez.
Okay, we've spent a fair amount of time breaking down the first 2 games because they're very exciting games featuring 2 of the top teams in Italy. Maybe we'll rattle through a couple of the games featuring the likes of Genoa and Verona, which brings us into the next game. Genoa versus Verona in fair Genoa. Alex, what do you think is going to happen between these 2 teams that have an identical record so far in Serie A?
Identical record, and it's good that you see them scoring also. So I think that the best way to play this match, and the odds are very good for that, is both teams to score at 1.75.
Like it. Thanks. Alex, would you agree, Tan?
Totally. Both teams to score is also my tip. Tudor, the new manager, Igor Tudor, former Juventus and Croatian international, took over at Verona. He gave a boost, but also defensively they are dreadful. Genoa too have those issues. Both teams to score.
Perfect. That's the sort of brevity that we like for games featuring Genoa. Next up, we have Juventus versus Sampdoria. Juventus finally picked up a first win of the season last night. It wasn't the sort of win that I was expecting, I must admit. I put a small amount on Juventus minus 1.5 Asian handicap. I thought they would win it more comfortably than they did, but they're making very hard work of things so far this season. But do you think that will give them a bit of a boost, Tan, now that they finally got 3 points on the board as they prepare to host Sampdoria?
Winning helps to win. That's what they all say from football. And it can be. Also, it helps that Sampdoria still, because let's remind this to the people that will watch this show not live. We are previewing these games before 3 games of Serie A are played on Thursday, and namely are Sampdoria Napoli, Roma Udinese, and Torino Lazio. So I have to see how Sampdoria get out of that. But anyway, you can say that Sampdoria will have 1 day less to rest, and the game they had, it's against Napoli. It's a bit difficult. Thing is that the odds on Juventus are ridiculously low to find some value. If I can find it, I go with both teams to score, because anyway, Juventus is always losing focus in some moments along the game. It could happen against Sampdoria if, for example, Juve, as it is very likely, would go up. Imagine that Juventus considered comeback in each game they played so far. Udinese.
Minus the Champions League one, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't consider. Udinese, Milan, yesterday Spezia, but they gave a comeback back. And I think it can happen also with Sampdoria. They start good. Maybe they end up winning, probably, but they will consider at least something. Also because Sampdoria plays better in counter.
It's at 1.9. It's a wonderful bet, in my opinion. I think that everyone can score against Juventus nowadays, and seeing them shaking and trembling from the fact that they were 3-2 up, and they were, okay, referee, blow the whistle because it's not ending there. Yeah, against Spezia, you couldn't keep the ball. You are Juventus, amazingly. How you cannot keep the ball at 3-2 against Spezia, and you're giving them the opportunities to score an equalizer. Imagine that, And Sampdoria, in my opinion, they are far better than Spezia, and they have far more experience than the Spezia side.
The team is okay. The only thing is that they are playing on Thursday against Napoli, so that
that's it. The difference of 1 day between the two games. Plus, they are playing against Napoli. They are not playing against Venezia. To say that okay, they are playing against a small team, but still, the both team to score that Tan mentioned, I think that is the only bet to take right now. If you don't want to give Sampdoria, for example, a plus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.9, not to lose more than 1 goal difference. The stats are not with us because the Juventus in the last 3 matches covered the minus 1.5 and kept a clean sheet also in the last 3 matches. But seeing Juventus this season, I think that Sampdoria, as Tan said, can score against them.
Yeah, the days of Juventus grinding out 1-0 wins are well in the rearview mirror. I used to place that bet on a weekly basis, and it was great a couple of years ago. No longer, sadly. Sampdoria haven't been in great form going forwards, but they do have quality in attack. So I agree with you both. I think they can get on the score sheet against a weak Juventus defence and a dreadful Juventus goalkeeper in this game. Okay, next up we have Udinese versus Fiorentina. And as we've mentioned on the show so far, Fiorentina have been really entertaining in the opening weeks of the season. If you look at the bare facts, it's only 8 goals scored and 9 conceded, but there's just been lots of 2-1s. Lots of open, entertaining games. They are a bit leaky at the back, but they do look very strong going forwards. Caveating everything, as Tam mentioned, by saying that Udinese are playing tonight after we film the show. So we don't exactly know how they're going to get on. But as things stand right now, Alex, what would be your take on this game? Can Fiorentina get a result there?
I'm a little bit scared about this red card from Gonzalez, so he will be out for this Udinese game. I think that Fiorentina with Gonzalez should have. I don't know now if Inter were. I don't know if they deserve that win. How they played in the second half, let's say that if they deserve that win against Fiorentina. But the normal score would have been a 1-1 type of game. I don't know. But Inter, on how they played the second half against Fiorentina, that amazing comeback, they deserve the victory. Udinese on the other side got trashed by Napoli. They are also playing today away at Roma. So as Tam said, we are filming this watching those 3 games. So we don't know what will happen there. but I'm seeing an open game. I'm seeing over 2.5 goals at 1.9 in this one.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks very much, Alex. What do you think, Tan? Are we going to see goals in this game?
The odds on Fiorentina to win are too good to be overshadowed. As Alex said, Napoli, Roma, and then Fiorentina. Those 3 games in 7 days would be hard to endure for Juventus, for Milan, for Inter. Imagine for Udinese with 1 day less to rest again compared to Fiorentina. And Fiorentina, 2 days less. 2 days less.
2 days less.
Fiorentina, anyway.
What a stupid schedule. 2 days less. Imagine what a stupid schedule, man.
Yeah, you can see there that Fiorentina has no power in Serie A league, because do it that to Juventus, Milan, and see what is the reaction. But anyway, it's interesting the point Alex make about let's see how Fiorentina is without Nico Gonzalez, because it's true in the development of attacking phase of Fiorentina is being very key, but they are playing good. They are playing good, and that's why I trust in that. And I will have some sense of frustration to give out after losing a game where actually they play a fantastic first half against Inter. So odds super good on Fiorentina to win. But I have to ask Alex, what the hell are you wearing? What is that? What is that you have? Ah! Tai Nidong, PJ, why I see only one blue shirt? No, Tai.
No, I have 2. I have 2 blue shirts. But the second one is not for you.
What do you mean?
No, I have the original one, and I have a streetwear one. But that is another subject.
Good old.
And I have also a scarf with Messi with PSG.
Good old Tiny Dong. Thanks, Tiny Dong. Sean's going for Dusan Vlahovic to get on the score sheet. He likes that. Jack P's going for both teams to score. Good day, Ty. Lots of love for Juventus against a tired Sampdoria team. Barca thinks Fiorentina straight win at +125. Harry Doherty's never heard of Lionel Messi. Wow. Didn't go to Chelsea, did he? But hasn't really shown much for PSG yet. We wait for him to really show his talent in Paris.
Well, I can see a shirt with that, even if it didn't show up. The shirt did show up, but only to one person did show up. It be at least to 2 persons, not one. Only one there.
Jack's asking why the Gunners fan is wearing a City kit. This is Lazio. Oh, Lazio. We're going for the Roma versus Lazio derby. It's going to be a great game. We're going to get there in a minute, but first we have to wade through Sassuolo versus Salernitana. Can't get particularly enthused about it.
You said it like it would be Monday morning at 7 a.m. and you have to go to the office.
Oh, it feels like it. It feels like something I don't want to do. It feels like a grim commute on the London Underground. We got to come to Tan on this one. Try and make this sound more exciting than it seems, Tan.
No, and actually it's also part of my top 5 picks, because Salernitana play like the playbook of Catenaccio. It's like very old style, very, very old style. And also they have a very poor squad. Normally they are able to put up a bit of a fight at the beginning, but they give away. They can't last the whole game. Sassuolo are still very groggy. It's still very hard for them to make it after having left the Zerbi, the manager, to join Shakhtar. And they are still missing Locatelli, who joined Juventus. They are still not there, but they are better. So not only is part of my top 5 picks, but it's the Tan Madness of the week. Yes, it is. It's the Tan Madness of
Tan Madness of the week, everybody.
It's the Tan Madness of the week, because Sassuolo, yes, they make it in the end, but they always start slowly, and Salernitana always starts better. So draw at the halftime and Sassuolo to win full time, which is some a good plus 400, something like that.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Tan. I think I found about plus 350 on it when I was looking, but yeah, you might be able to find plus 400 if you shop around. Jack says that Sassuolo are a banker. Sassuolo to win to 0. Barcaman's going Sassuolo to score in both halves at pretty close to even money. Alex, have you got anything on this one?
I love the fact that Salernitana are away. It was a good result for them to come back from 2 goals down to hold Verona to a 2-2 draw. It was very impressive for Salernitana to win their first point of the season. You know that it will be very tough for them to arrive at 20 points this season. Very tough, you know. I think that Sassuolo is time for them to bounce back after 3 defeats in a row. I think that this is the perfect opportunity for Sassuolo, who Sassuolo side played not very decent to good against Atalanta. Let's put it this way. Not a lot of actions and a lot of opportunities, but I think that against Salernitana they should be the team to offer us some excitement, some goals. You know, still without having Locatelli and Caputo, they still have De Frel, Boga, Berardi, Traore. You know. In my opinion, great players to have in Juricic also. So I think that Sassuolo minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 2.15 should be the best value bet for this match.
Martin, wait. Ryan Hong is saying the TF is a 10 madness. Fair to ask in this way, doesn't matter. 10 madness is when it is an absolutely mad odd, mad bet, and the odds are at least plus 300 or more. What is the characteristic of the 10 madness? It doesn't come every week. More or less, the average is once every 3 or 4 weeks. And in spite of the odds being very high, the likely outcome, usually, historically, chronologically, has been very high. So let's say that in spite of those big odds, it happens, I would say, 70% of the time. But it comes every 3 or 4 weeks.
Let me ask you, Tan, about this thing. Why we've seen Raspadori out on the bench, not out, against Atalanta, and Bogain?
Just technical decision. He thought that Boga speed was
faster,
better.
pace. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pace was better than Raspadori playing horizontal, and so he thought in that way.
Okay.
So PJ, wait, sorry. PJ, Alex, bet with us, is it you?
Yeah.
PJ is asking, what? Tancredi Palmeri, what color do you want? The third jersey is sharp in black. Okay, PJ, for the Bundesliga show that is in 24 minutes, I don't know how we're going to get there, I will tell you. I will check the free and I will ask you. Grazie,
PJ. Degenerate Jetters giving me minus 190 on Alex to cover over 8.5 beers this coming weekend. I will take that. Right now.
Make it a banker. Bet your entire bankroll.
That's my banker every weekend. Don't you worry about that. Homeboy was crying on air again, PJ Simpson. Oh, dear. All right, we digress. We must move on. As Tan says, we have got Bundesliga in 24 minutes, and it does take our wonderful team of magicians a little bit of time to set things up in the studio. So we're going to move on to Empoli versus Bologna. A Bologna team led by the indefatigable Marko Arnautovic in attack, with some very good players around him. Empoli haven't particularly impressed me so far this season. I think this is a game in which Bologna can go and get a result. Would you agree, Alex, or would you talk me out of it?
Totally agree. I'm a little bit scared because it's an away game for Bologna, and because Empoli suddenly won a match after 2 defeats in a row, and they did it in style against Cagliari on the road. I wasn't expecting that to happen. But the value is on Bologna to be safer, you can take Bologna with draw no bet at 1.95. So in case of a draw, I don't think that Bologna will lose this game. Let's put it this way. So Bologna with draw no bet. Bologna minus that 6-1 defeat against Inter. They were consistent. Wins, draws, also draw against Atalanta. Okay, the other matches were not so difficult, but still against an Empoli, they should win at least 1 point. So yeah, Bologna draw no bet at 1.95 looks decent.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Bologna draw no bet. I got minus 110 yesterday. Delighted to see that it's gone out to minus 105. Might put a bit more money on it. What do you think, Tancredi, Palmeri? Can Bologna get a result there?
For sure, they won't lose. Obviously, the double chance out odds are too low. Jack P is giving a very technical question, if I have time to answer. He's saying, with Bologna, no. He's saying, what is wrong with this Bologna team and why can they win more games? Why is Mihailovic starting Medel at centre-back? I can tell you, Jack P.
Very good question.
Gary Medel is doing a fantastic job as a centre-back normally. I've seen him personally live, completely whipping Messi away when he played, for example, the Copa America final in 2015, Chile-Argentina. But also other times against Ibrahimovic. Gary Medel is a smart mind, very, very clever. So where he doesn't get with the technical skills, he gets with his mind. Actually, lately, he's not playing that brilliant as a centre-back. He's not playing bad, just not that brilliant. Now, considering that Bologna really needs Gary Medel and his cleverness, when that happened, you see it immediately. Bologna was frustrated by conceding this very late draw against Genoa 2 days ago for a very debatable penalty. So I think it will be a show at Empoli. But Empoli played a shocker, winning at Cagliari that just had the new manager, Mazzarri, at the second game. 2-0 in Cagliari was very hard. So I don't expect Bologna to lose, but I see more profitable to go with the Alex Classic, both team to score and over 2.5, because I see that Bologna will be desperate to grab this, so will concede something.
Okay. Yeah, the Barca Sean MCK has a great bet for this one. Bologna to win and over 1.5 goals. Bologna draw double chance and over 1.5 goals in the match at even money. Very good.
Good. Looks good. Like it a lot, Sean. Thank you for that. All right.
They specified that the homeboy crying was myself.
What's that? Oh, we got to talk about Lazio. We want to talk about Lazio Roma. It's Derby della Capitale. Come on. Tan madness. What's going to happen in this game? Lazio versus Roma. Big Rome derby.
Yeah, not Tan madness here, but it's going to be fantastic game. Well, we have to see how they get out this Thursday. This is very important because Lazio entered Torino Lazio today, having lost to Milan and drew with Cagliari, and we don't know what happened with Torino. Roma lost to Verona, and now they host Udinese. So I'm missing some important pieces to preview this. But the main thing is that it's a Sarri against Mourinho. I have to tell you, the last time that the Derby della Capitale had such two big characters on each benches dates back to 20 years ago when Fabio Capello was at Roma and Sven-Goran Eriksson was at Lazio before England shipped Eriksson away. These big two characters will have a huge impact on the game, will have a huge impact on the attitude. They will be not so strategical, especially Sarri. So the only thing I feel that I can say at this point before seeing them playing is over 2.5 goals, which anyway is very well priced because it's approximately a plus 100.
No, it's 1.68.
Wow, it's not. It was 1.3 today.
Over 2.5 goals?
Yeah.
No, maybe you're talking about over the Alex Classic at plus 100. both in
no,
score and
no.
over 2.5.
Over 2.5 goals, but this morning was 1.83. Okay, so it's dropping. See?
Okay, well, yeah, we're thinking goals. We've got two managerial heavyweights going up against one another at new clubs. It should be a great game, Alex. We've made a bit of money off Roma so far this season, but this feels to me a game that they might struggle to actually take 3 points from. I could see maybe a score draw in this one. What do you think?
It looks like Roma has an easier game today than Lazio. Lazio on the road against Torino, very tough game against such a competitive team. Despite not having Belotti right now, they totally changed, and with the new manager and 2 wins in a row and conceding no goals, keeping 2 clean sheets, that's the first one to see from Torino, to keep 2 clean sheets in a row. So I think that Lazio will have a very, very tough game today against Torino. On the other side, Roma coming off that crazy 3-2 defeat against Verona. But again, the weather conditions were very bad, and the pitch was the biggest problem for Roma's players that love to pass between them, and was pouring rain, and they had difficult times to do their game. So this is a derby. No matter whom they will start with, both managers will try to win this game. And I think that over 2.5 goals in your parlay at 1.68 should be a winner.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Yeah, we don't have any tips, I believe, for the next game, Napoli versus Cagliari, because we really need to wait and see what happens in the game tonight. I mean, it's a match that Napoli should win pretty comfortably, I would say. I've been very, very impressed with the way Napoli have played in the opening weeks of the season. I've got 5-1 here, Alex. 5-1 on Napoli to win the title. Go each way, you get a third of the odds if they finish second. Would you take that bet?
I think that before the international break, they should have at least 6 more points, so make it 18, right? So the schedule is not that complicated for Napoli right now. They should win today. They should cover the spread, the minus 1.5 Asian handicap against the Cagliari, which is brilliant price at 1.85, no matter what will happen today. Cagliari coming after that defeat against Empoli, very deflated, very out of confidence, this Cagliari side. Napoli are fully focused. Their main objective is to fight for the title this season. You see them rolling. You see them the way that they started the season, that they are trying to go all the way this time. If they will stay healthy and they will stay focused on this, they might go all the way. You never know. But it's interesting because, as you said, probably this season is the most entertaining season of Serie A, with Juventus being so down right now on the table, with the Juventus, with the Inter, Napoli, and Roma there at the top of the table. It will be very good to see how the season will develop. Sorry, I forgot AC Milan also. But in this one, Napoli should cover the minus 1.5 Asian handicap.
Okay, Tan, a couple of questions. Do you think Napoli can be in the title race near the end of the season? And do you think they can pick up an emphatic win against Cagliari?
Yes, totally to the first one. And if you remember, when we did the first show of the season, I said that, in my opinion, the best top scorer would be Osimhen. And yeah, in my opinion, for the title race, you have to count Inter, Milan, Juventus, Roma, and Napoli. I count off Atalanta and Lazio.
On this order? On this order? Or
No. It's so level. It's so mixed.
Okay.
I still go with a slight favor to Juventus, because I think that their squad is much better and they must come back in some way. And they will win this.
I mean, we've seen Manchester City last year in 14th place after 4, 5, 6 rounds, you know. So and they went all the way like
they destroyed the
yeah, exactly, you know. So
Man City
you never know.
Juventus, though. Man City are a lot better Juventus for me.
And even Arsenal are a lot better than Juventus, right?
Oh, yeah. Arsenal are the best team in the world. Don't worry about that. Arsenal won 2 games in a row, going to beat Tottenham
What
this
a
weekend.
nice win in the FA Cup.
AFC Wimbledon. Get out of the way. We're going to win all the silverware this year.
Was John Fasciano playing?
No, John Fashanu was on the bench, but he didn't get on. They most of their players were under the age of 52.
And to answer to your second question, definitely, yeah, I go with the same win with handicap for Napoli, even if it's the comeback of Walter Mazzarri in Naples, where he had 3 fantastic seasons. He had the famous trio Cavani, Lavezzi, Pandev. It was Mazzarri is still beloved in Napoli. Possibly it's the city where he's the best appreciated, but won't be enough.
Won't be enough. Okay, fair enough. All right, we haven't got much time, but the final game is Venezia versus Torino. Do you have any tips on this, Tan? Well, you've got a tip on every game, haven't you?
Exactly. Never ask again that question. Torino to win, it's fantastic odds. It's true they have 1 day less to rest and they have to play against Lazio, and it will be very stressful, but Juric is doing a fantastic job of intensity and quality, and the odds are so good. So not only Torino, no, it's not part of my top 5 picks, but just because there were 8 out of 10 games this week that I would have put in my top 5.
Okay, great, thanks, Tan. Alex?
Same here. I'm going with the same bet. Yeah, Torino look really good right now, and are a team to back, and with the value, very good value. You know, they are not Inter or Napoli or Juventus, but still a very good value at 2.1 on Torino to win against a team that looks very bad right now. Their only win against Empoli. They are fighting to avoid relegation there till the end of the season. I think that 2.1 is a great odds.
Yeah, agree with you there. Thanks very much, Alex. Thank you very much, Tan. Thanks, everybody. We're going to quickly get the official picks up, please, Zoot. We'll read them out, then we'll wrap things up. So I'm going to go for AC Milan, -1 Asian handicap, -111. Bologna draw no bet at -110. Inter straight win at +105. And over 2.5 goals in that Fiorentina game at -111.
AC Milan -1 on the Asian handicap at -111. -110 there. Sassuolo -1.5 on the Asian handicap at +115. Udinese Fiorentina over 2.5 goals. And banker of the round, Inter versus Atalanta over 2.5 goals at -141.
Inter to win against Atalanta at +105. Lazio Roma over 2.5 goals at -130. Spezia Milan an half-time draw at +155. Juventus Sampdoria both teams to score at -110. And finally, the 10 madness, the first one of the season in Serie A. See how much madness. Draw at the half-time, but Sassuolo to win full-time at +350.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Zook. We're going to wrap things up. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks very much for your picks. Please give us a thumbs up on your way out. We love it. SBR loves it. Google, YouTube algorithm loves it. And we're going to see you back here in 9 minutes to cover the Bundesliga. See you then.